I made a list of people that I admired who already were running their own business. They were predominantly, natural therapists of some shape or form. And I just kept referring it back to it, going, if that person can do it, then I can do it. If that person can do it, then I can do it. And kept coming back to the idea of what I wanted my business to look like, how I wanted it to be, how many clients I wanted to see, the hours I wanted to do, the whole shebang of what this was going to be about. And coming back to this list of people who'd already been there before me. That was the mindset work that I didn't even know was a thing.
Welcome to Magnetic Pod. If you are looking to attract your soul clients while doing the work you love, this show is for you. Hi, I'm Olivia D'Souza. I'm a podcast manager and content repurposing specialist. The Magnetic Pod Show is about attracting your soul pod of clients through podcasting. It will also include things that can be applied to other areas of your marketing strategy too. Hit subscribe to join me in calling in the people we are here to help. Let's make a massive impact.
I am here and I'm ready to be brave. Cannot miss me, I'll stand on every stage. I'm available for my destiny to reach my peak.
Hello, my friend, and welcome to another episode of Magnetic Pod. I'm your host, Olivia, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have you joining me today. Now, let me tell you, we have a really special treat today. Today, we're diving deep into the world of personal growth, mindset, and podcasting. I am so honored to introduce you to a phenomenal woman who I greatly admire, who has so much value to offer, who I learn from just by witnessing her, and who is also a client that I've had the privilege to support in making her incredible podcast. So joining us today is the remarkable Anna Hastie. She's the host of Alchemy Mindset with Anna Hastie, and she's a true inspiration. She's an advocate for personal transformation. She's a guiding light for those seeking to unleash their full potential. Her podcast is full of wisdom and invaluable insights and tools for creating a mindset that allows you to thrive. So a little bit about Anna. She's been on an incredible journey of self-discovery, of overcoming challenges and embracing her true power, and then turning around and wanting to make it easier for other people and shine a light for them and help them on their journey. As her trusted podcasting consultant, I've had the pleasure of witnessing Anna's growth and witnessing the impact that she's making through her show. Her authenticity and vulnerability and genuine desire to uplift and inspire others is truly remarkable. In today's episode, Anna and I dive into the depths of her personal journey, exploring the transformative power of an alchemy mindset. We discuss the importance of self-belief, the art of conscious creation, and how to tap into that and unleash it in the real world. So stay with me and you are in for a real treat. Before we do dive into it, I just want to say a quick thank you to those of you who are subscribing and who have left a review. I really, really appreciate every single one of you, and let's get into it. Hello, Anna. Welcome to Magnetic Pod.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me. And Ava, who's...
And we have also special guest Ava, little Ava, who is... How old is Ava now?
She is just on the border of 9 months. And, her favourite thing to do is have at least one nap a day in the carrier. So Ava gets to be part of the show, part of the excitement.
So, yes, Anna is currently baby wearing Ava and doing a lot of rocking. So those of us who are mothers can totally relate to constant movement.
Yes, I even find myself, I've now adopted the rocking of the shopping trolley. Even though Ava might not be with me, I'll be just standing in the aisle and rocking the shopping trolley.
Yes.
It's hypnotic, isn't it? It's like suddenly we just have these abilities to just rock anything. So
that's right. Yeah. So I'm really excited to have you on the podcast. Anna is she's a client of mine and a mindset coach and a sound healer, and she's got her own podcast called the Alchemy Mindset Podcast. So, and yeah, I've been looking forward to having a chat. So mindset, you help people with mindset and business and also sound healing. So that's an interesting combination. So can you tell me how you came to be doing this?
Yes, it's how I stepped into sound bath healing is probably one of the biggest questions I get because it is such a unique healing modality. It's something that's really taking, I guess you could say, Western culture by storm at the moment. So my journey began years ago, many years ago. I was a remedial massage therapist. That's where my original training came in. And over time, through being a massage therapist, I gravitated more towards energy healing, such as Reiki, all forms of different kinds of meditation, different sort of forms of healing, and as well as following different modalities within the massage industry. And during that time, as I was doing healing with my Reiki clients, I was getting this really strong feeling of wanting to tone or make a sound when I was working on them. And at first it was a bit like, oh, that's a bit weird. Are they going to think something really strange is happening if I just suddenly go, ooh? But I felt like there was this sound that needed to come out and be expressed when I was doing the healing, and I wasn't sure why. And at the same time, who turned out to be one of my sound healing mentors, Heather Jean, she's based in WA. She was up in Broome, where I live, doing some workshops, and I knew she offered sound bath healings, and I'd attended many of them, and she plays a particular kind of crystal bowls, which I now own as well. And I just love them. And I said to her, look, I'm getting this feeling that I need to make a sound during my healings. I'm not sure where it's coming from. I've never done this before. I'm not a singer by any means. Why is this happening? And she said, well, it's part of something that you might want to explore through some sound bath training or sound healing training. And that's what I offer. So I immediately jumped in. I was like, yeah, I'm ready to learn something new. This seems like there's a calling for this within me, even if it doesn't evolve into anything. I just love doing personal development stuff, anything like that. So it was perfect timing. Enrolled in all 3 levels of her training and emerged as a sound bath healer. And that's then just taken me on a completely amazing journey where I currently hold sound bath healings in group sessions. I also do like one-to-one private sessions, but I play these particular bowls called the Alchemy Crystal Singing Bowls. And that has been just an amazing journey and really helped me open up my own, it's really helped me have a better understanding of myself as a healer and what I want to offer moving forwards. I knew that at some stage, going back, I should just backtrack here a bit. I knew that there was going to be a time when I wanted to step out of massage. I was coming to the time where I was like, had enough of it. I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I didn't feel like I wanted to do it any longer. It just wasn't my passion. I just didn't really enjoy doing it. And I knew I was coming into a time where it would change and evolve and I didn't know. And that's where sound bath healing stepped in. It was a really easy way of me just stepping out of massage, but into something else that I was truly excited and passionate about. I love everything energy, frequency, vibration, manifestation. And that's kind of where the mindset thing started building as well. So as a remedial massage therapist, there came a time when I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done doing the treatments prescribed by other businesses that I was working for or contracting to. I was working at a day spa at this particular moment in my life, and while working in the spa was amazing and I had amazing therapist friends that I worked with, I felt that I was just ready to do more things that was my own expression. So this is where my creativity came in. It was like, I just want to do the things that I'm truly passionate about within massage, and I'm a bit done of working somebody else's schedule, somebody else's hours. I want more flexibility, a little bit more freedom, and I think I'm ready to do this. I think I'm ready to step out on my own and run my own business, which for anybody can be it can be exciting, definitely exciting, but equally terrifying. I don't know anything about business. I've never run my own business. I mean, I had an admin background in my early 20s. I did a lot of temping, worked for different organizations, different businesses. So I felt like I was very organized administratively, but how to put yourself out there as a business was a whole new show. I knew I was a great massage therapist. People came and saw me all the time and raved about my massages to friends, family, whoever. Always had glowing testimonials, and over time within my business had an amazing wait list. I was never without work. But to actually step into the business side of things and to put myself out there, hello self-promotion and hello networking, 2 things that I was very, 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 very scared of, I realized that running my own business was going to take a lot more work than just putting up one flyer up in the health shop where I initially started and maybe just one post on social media. I knew I was going to have to do more. I didn't know at the time there was such a thing as mindset. I never knew there was something called a business coach. I never knew there was anything related in terms of how to get that support you need when you're starting a business. And so I had to figure out a lot of it myself. And the first thing I kept coming back to was I made a list of people that I admired who already were running their own business. They were predominantly natural therapists of some shape or form. And I just kept referring it back to it, going, if that person can do it, then I can do it. If that person can do it, then I can do it. And kept coming back to the idea of what I wanted my business to look like, how I wanted it to be, how many clients I wanted to see, the hours I wanted to do, the whole shebang of what this was going to be about. And coming back to this list of people who'd already been there before me. That was the mindset work that I didn't even know was a thing. Didn't know there was a buzzword for it, whatever. And over time, I had to deal with things like imposter syndrome, because suddenly I was faced with other people raving about other therapists in town and how amazing they were and how much they loved seeing that person. And maybe that person is actually better than me. What do I know? I've only been in the industry for so long, let alone run a business. And then suddenly I was faced with, as I said before, networking and putting myself out there. Oh, that was like the most terrifying moment when I had to go and introduce myself to other people, which you'd think, Anna, that wouldn't be hard for you, considering I don't mind talking. I'm a friendly person. My other passions are performing on stage, but it was a different thing going up to someone and saying, oh, hey, I do massage. If you've got any clients who want a massage, just send them on my way. Anyway, so over time, conquered all those limiting beliefs, all those things that were terrifying me, did the work. I wouldn't say at that time I was doing any of the modalities that I know of now that could have probably sped up the process, such as EFT tapping, hypnosis, time technique, all sorts of things that I've learned as a mindset coach. But I got through it all and I created what was my ultimate dream, successful, thriving business. And it was amazing. I just loved it. But then again, as I said earlier, there came a time when I was like, I'm done. I'm done with the whole massage gig. I love it. I'm great at it. I could do this easily, blindfolded, know that I've got plenty of clients, but I'm just not passionate about it. It doesn't excite me anymore. I feel really tired going into work. And if ultimately I felt like I was on this runaway train that just didn't know how to put the brakes on and stop, but knew there was something in the background brewing that was going to change and take me in a different direction. And in that time, it was sound bath healing, but also this mindset coaching, because I was seeing within myself how hard I'd worked on my own mindset to get my business to where I wanted to be, but also witnessing and hearing it from other people within my industry and within the small business world, particularly women, of how they were talking about themselves, that self-talk of oh, but I'm not very good at, or I can't do that, or I wish I could. Or sometimes I'd be just there going, stop it. Don't you hear what you're saying? You can change your mindset and you can have the business that you want. You've just got to figure it out and let go of those silly things. And at the time I didn't know how to coach people or how that was all going to translate until one day I was cleaning some windows and listening to a podcast and realized, oh, actually, maybe I do want to study NLP. Maybe that's something that's going to help me. Maybe that's something where I want to go. Maybe that's something I can get really excited about and see where it takes me in the next level of my career and business. And so I did my NLP training and then started diving deeply into the world of mindset and realized that I was much more passionate about helping women in business because I love business, strangely enough. I don't know why or how or where that's come from. Never did a business degree. Wasn't even interested in it in high school, but I love it. I love all the intricacies and the things about business. I love the challenges it brings, but I want to help people. But I knew within myself, I wanted to help people, and particularly women, be just as amazing within their business by shifting their mindset so they can become that amazing entrepreneur that they know they can be and have that successful, thriving business that helps them ultimately live the lifestyle that they are also, we're all working towards, that we all want. And that's pretty much how those two parts of my career or my business came about. But then to now blend them together, which has been another form of sort of I guess it's been another something that I've explored, because as you and I were talking about not too long ago, Olivia, is that you can either have a really tight, small niche, you can niche up, you can niche down, you can have a broader niche. It doesn't really matter. It's just what you want to do in the world that makes you happy, that can be of benefit to others. And for a while I struggled with, do I just do one? Do I not do the other? Can they be merged together? Are they exclusively like separate, or can be intertwined? And over time I've realized, well, actually mindset coaching and sound bath healing do sit on the same space of vibration and frequency. So obviously well, not obviously, but some of us may have heard that expression. Hold on, now I'm just going to remember it. Just remember exactly how this expression goes. Basically, like what you see in your reality is shaped by your inner thoughts and your inner feelings and thinkings and all those kind of things. So what you see on the outside of happening around you comes from within, and that's all vibration and frequency. It's all from our emotions that get translated into thoughts and actions. And sound bath healings, again, sit in the space of vibration and frequency. So what you may be experiencing on the outside, it can actually be a reflection of what's happening on the inside. So where within you, for example, if you're having difficult conversations with your clients or customers right now, or even like contractors or employees, what's happening within you that may also be a reflection of that you're seeing in your outer reality. Sound bath healing can help bring us back into that place of balance, of harmony, can help us move forwards, has that beautiful ripple out effect into the world around us through what we experience. So I've found over time that I've actually been happily able to merge them together. I mean, when someone comes for a coaching with me, the first thing we do is we focus on what their goals are, what their visions are, and being able to use the bowls to heighten that, and particularly the specific bowls I play that can do that. It's such a beautiful thing to experience, to create that energy and frequency, to create that imagery, and then we work on the mindset to get them to that place. The other point I just wanted to make was, within running a business, I know for a fact how much we can go through levels of stress and anxiety, of worry, of despair, of elation, of joy, of absolute crushing it and feeling so proud of ourselves. Like, we can go through a multitude wave of feelings and emotions. What sound baths do is also help us bring us back, as I said, into that place of calm, of relaxation, so that when we get out of our thinking mind, that busy, chitty chat, talking, self-sabotaging kind of little monkey voice that can often creep up or be prominent no matter what we're doing in our business, sound baths can help us just step out of that thinking mind and get us to feel more relaxed and more connected and more back into ourselves, so that we can hear our higher self, less of our ego, more of our heart, which can often be the main thing that's trying to come through to tell us what directions to take, how to move forwards with things that are happening in our lives. So that's where I feel like they both blend in, and they both equally excite me. I love everything that happens within the mindset coaching and the sound bath healing. And for me, ultimately, as a business owner, they just speak to my creativity. They speak to the things that I enjoy doing and sharing. And I feel that with what we're seeing and emerging in the world within business, they're both going to be really, 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 really a strong aspect that's going to support women in business long term, moving forwards, forever and ever and ever.
Wow. I love the story that you mentioned, that you already felt that you wanted to sing or you wanted to make a noise.
Yes.
And when you just demonstrated it too, you did one note, right? Ooh, or whatever it was. So, I mean, and is that how you felt? You wanted to, like, you could feel an intuition telling you that this sound needed to come out of you.
Yeah.
And then, so when you did the sound healing course, was it like that manifesting? Did you go, oh, this is home, it
made
so
sense.
Familiar?
Yeah, it made sense. Like, doing the course helped. So there was 3 stages of the course. We started off with just learning how to use what's called chakra chimes. So different chimes that are at a note or a frequency that can help balance the 7 chakras in the body. And we also learned about vocal toning. So toning's where you make a sound, no matter what it sounds like. It doesn't have to be pretty perfect. It can be really guttural and deep and ugly, like as a way of releasing energy, anything that's stuck, anything that's not serving you. And what I was finding was, doing the toning on someone was me actually able to assist the person in releasing energy that may be stuck or needing to be released within them. So it was also a way of, not only that, but also a way of channeling in energy, Reiki energy, higher frequencies that could bring in healing for that person at the same time. Quite often I felt that it was around their knees or their feet, which I later learned have like chakra points in them. And particularly with the feet, it was just like wanting to ground them and to bring that person back to the earth, because they were so stuck in their head with whatever was happening in their life, and just holding their feet and just wanting to make a sound. And
did you do it, or did you hold yourself back?
Oh, initially it was kind of like, this is going to be weird. I'm not going to do that, because let's face it, as individuals, we don't want to seem weird. We don't want to seem a little bit cuckoo crazy. And particularly when you're doing a healing with someone and you've never done this before, there's a moment where you stop yourself and you think, they're going to think I'm a bit crazy and a bit mad for doing this, but I feel like I need to do this. So there's that element of the ego fighting with the higher self or whatever you're channeling through. Like, I'll share this with you as well. Later on, once I'd done the training and I understood what I was experiencing and why, I had no holding back. I was like, okay, now I understand this. I'm not mad. This has a purpose. So I feel like the training just solidified a lot of things that I was intuitively feeling, but not feeling confident to express. So yeah, I went back and would often say to a client, look, you may hear me make a sound or a note or something like that in our session today. Please know that that's just me helping you release the energy or channeling in something that's going to be of benefit to you. So that cleared the air of any expectations or uncertainty that might happen. But I do remember once I had the bowls and I was actually using them in the sessions, I was working in particular on this gentleman's left-hand side, and it was around his arms. And I knew he had a lot of pain, often like neural pain in his arms. It was something that was ongoing that we were constantly working on. And it was so weird. But I was playing the bowls and maybe I was training at the same time. But I had this feeling that I wanted to start meowing like a cat.
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
so random, but it was such a strong pull. Like, it was like, meow, meow, like this cat.
Oh my God.
Wanted to like, yeah, I honestly felt like I wanted to start speaking like a cat, like meowing. And I really fought with myself of like, yes, you need to do this. It's natural, but no, don't do that, because he's going to think you are now freaking weird. He knows that you might sing, but not a cat sound. And so later on, I messaged my sound healing mentor and I was like, what the hell happened? And she said, well, maybe it was his spirit guide that was coming in. Like, maybe he just had, there's some sort of like cat energy around him or whatever, and you were just tuning into that, and it could have actually been of benefit for him. Maybe there was a message in there for him. Maybe that was something that just needed to come out. And I'm like, wow, okay, I've never had that happen before.
Maybe you need to ask. Maybe have you, like,
I
do
said to him afterwards,
do you have a connection with cats or something?
Yeah, I said to him afterwards, oh, it's funny because he's a dog person. He has this beautiful dog. So, yeah, he doesn't really have cats. But I did say to him afterwards, there was this really strange energy of a cat around you. Does that make any sense? Do you have any? He was like, no, not really. So we just moved on. But, yeah, I kind of wish I knew what a cat was. Now, probably I could have looked up on like the meanings of animal symbolism, and maybe there would have been a meaning in there of cats. So, but yeah, but since doing the sound bath healing, I definitely have a bigger understanding of messages that come through the sound. Or even once I was working on somebody, and it was like, what is this person's song? What do they need to hear right now for their healing? And it was like immediately in my mind, I had this beautiful image of a sunrise by a river. We were out in nature, and just some sounds came out to reflect that. And afterwards I said, yeah, I just had this beautiful image of you being outside in nature and camping by the river and the outdoors. And that was your song. And she said, yeah, I love doing all those things, which I did know. She loves the outdoor, and she's a water baby, like loves the ocean, loves rivers, loves swimming. And I said, I think that was just me singing your love and your passion and what makes you really feel happy. And have you done any of that lately? Like, maybe that's a reminder that you need to get out there, that kind of thing. But what I'm experiencing right now, which I feel is really incredible and maybe is a reflection of me stepping into motherhood, is singing more light language when it comes to my sound baths. So, and I've also changed venue here in Broome, and I'm at a bigger space that's got a deeper spiritual connection to Kuan Yin and other healing.
What's that?
Other healing. Oh, sorry. So Kuan Yin is the Buddha of compassion and mercy, as well as music. And in this particular place called the Buddha Sanctuary here in Broome, there's a beautiful crystal quartz Kuan Yin sitting in the garden, and you can go out there and pray, meditate with her or pray to her, or just sometimes I just go out there and have a little shavasana, have a little rest on the ground under her in the garden. Beautiful. But yeah, I feel like there's different energy in this space, and beautiful, healing, loving energy. And at the moment when I'm playing, I'm feeling that there's songs coming through that I haven't sung before, but songs with words that would not sound like a language to the human ear. Might sound like gibberishy kind of babbling kind of sounds or words, if you want to put it, but whatever it means is coming through, and I just sing that for my clients or the participants while they're there, because maybe that's a message they need to hear in their own way, however that comes through for them.
I can see that a mindset does come up for you. It comes up for all of us, of course, but I'm seeing how you have to learn to be fearless and to trust that intuition and go with it.
Yes.
And not hit that pause button and
not holding back.
The ego that says, what the heck?
Yeah, and absolutely. And that's what can happen within, let's just step outside of outside of sound baths and into mindset. Our ego is part of our subconscious mind that keeps us safe. And when we're faced with doing something new, so say, for example, maybe you've decided that you need to step up into your promotion via social media and putting yourself out there and showing up on a video or talking, even just doing a live or something that's new for you within your business or learning for the first time in your life can be really scary. It can be terrifying, can cause like all sorts of like paralysis, all of that self-doubt, that talk of I'm not very good at, I'm not like that person. So comparisonitis, as I like to call it. So yeah, it really does. There are certain elements working within our business where we have to be fearless, where we really literally have to just step up and be brave and have that confidence and that trust that I'm going to be okay if I do this. It may not feel right initially, but if I keep doing this over and over again, it's going to feel more comfortable and it's going to be okay. And that's what the ego and the subconscious mind does. It keeps us safe, because back in our primal days, it was all about keeping us safe from danger, and in particular, keeping us safe within the tribe and not being ostracized. So that's another aspect. Something I've really learned recently about the subconscious mind is that it wants to keep us safe within our collective so that we're not ostracized, because if we were ostracized and we were shoved out of the tribe, we were like defenseless. No one else was there to like protect us from the ravages of nature or hunger or famine or other predators. So when we put ourselves out there and we do something that might not be in the norm of our tribe, which in the modern day could be our family, could be our friends, could be our community, we can suddenly go into that fear of, I'm not good at this, I can't do this, I'm not like that person, I don't know enough, and have all those self-doubts and fears come up that stop us from actually doing that. When in actual fact, if we were just brave enough, knowing that in today's society, we are pretty safe, we're not going to get we may have some hardships with some family members who don't really understand what we're doing, but if you find the people that do support you, you can be held safely to go out there and do the thing. And how amazing would your life be? Like, the subconscious mind, which is what we work with within mindset, is just fascinating. It's just a huge rabbit warren of all sorts of things that do present themselves here in business and in the modern day, when in actual fact they're things that were there that we were wired for back in our more primal, tribal, primitive days. So yeah, I think I've lost where I was going with all of that. But anyway,
it's basically the key, isn't it, to unlocking what we want in life, or who we truly are. So obviously you are a podcasting client, so I want to ask you about why you've chosen to have a podcast and outsource, and what the whole journey is like for you to express yourself with podcasting. There's a bunch of questions. Just go somewhere with it.
Podcasting. What are your thoughts? You know what? So stepping into mindset coaching, I've found that it's for me personally, a slightly different journey to doing massage. Massage for me in a small town was literally word of mouth. or post to Facebook groups. And that worked really well for me. Built my business in next to no time. Whereas I found that while there's plenty of women in business here in my town, if you want to share your knowledge and share your wisdom and share all the tips and tricks, it may need to go a little bit beyond just posting to social media, particularly if you've got more things to say, some like more in-depth conversations that can't be cut down to a 30-second reel or 90 seconds or whatever they do these days. So perhaps there needs to be a little bit if you've got more content, more things to say, and you want to, so I found that for me, it was either stepping into the world of blogging or going into the world of podcasting. And I chose podcasting because I find speaking easier, particularly when I get to speak into a microphone to my laptop and I don't really have to, and I just imagine the people listening rather than being in front of people and feeling nervous. But we're getting there. I found that speaking is a lot easier. It's quicker for me than having to sit and type, and then reread something. And particularly now with Ava on board, my time can feel sometimes a bit stretched, whereas to do something that may be presented as like within 20 minutes felt much more comfortable, much more part of my creativity as well. It's also given me an outlet to also incorporate bowls within my podcasts, meditations, affirmations, all those things that I feel that can be intertwined within not only promoting sound bath healings, but also talking about mindset coaching. As well as having the fun of interviewing people, which is great. So I found that if I wanted to share my message, if I wanted to be a bit more creative, if I wanted to get like longer forms of content out there rather than just, and I think this also comes back to like just not relying on social media, which we are told constantly could be taken away from you at any moment in time. I felt that podcast was the best avenue for me. And I promised myself once I got to episode 10 that I would hire someone to do the editing, because I like to know how to do everything in business and within my business first and then outsource it after that. But that eventually got to episode about 20, which was fine. And that's where I hired you to come on board and to help me with the editing, which I chose to do because again, as I said, having Ava in my lifetime is a little bit more stretched. It's a little bit more, I need to narrow and focus it down to the really important things. And while editing is great and I can do it if I ever had to, I found that it was just a bit, it's time consuming, and it's something that I would happily and gratefully pay for, knowing that I could use the time that if I had been editing a podcast, I can use that towards something else that will push the needle forward on my business. In other words, make money. So that's why I stepped into podcasting, and as a way of showcasing what I do within my business, people getting an idea of how I sound, what I look, if there's a video out there, what I look like, all those kind of things, as well as me being able to share my information, but then wanting to get someone to edit it, just knowing that that would simply free up my time so I could channel my time more efficiently to things that I really, really needed to do and wanted to do within my business.
Great. So is there anything that you wanted to share in particular before we wrap up to make sure that people know what you really care about the most, what your message would be to women out there who want to start their own business?
Just do it. Don't hold back. I posted this up on my social media the other day, and someone replied and said, thank you, that's what I really needed to hear right now. And it was about the fact that we don't know how. We're not born with knowing the how to do so many things that we do now in our lives. We're not born with how to drive a car or make a cake or, in this case, run or start a business. But we can learn how to do it. We can learn as we go along, which is what I initially and essentially did. And we can also do some training to support us along the way. We can also find someone who's been there and has done what we want to do. So coming back to my story, having that list of people that I knew had been there before, had run a successful and thriving remedial massage business. I knew if they could do it, I could do it. I could lean on them. I could always message them and say, hey, what would your experience be? What would your advice be, etc. But we don't know how to do those things unless we give it a go. We don't know anything unless we give it a go. And just sitting there saying, oh, but I don't know how to do that thing is to me an excuse, and it's not a reason. So So do it. Just do it. If you are interested in making soap or macrame, or whether you've got a service you want to teach people how to make tea and do meditation and journaling, anything, like there is such a huge realm of things that we know and that we can share, and there are people out there who want to know those things and want to share or want to receive what your knowledge is. Don't hold back. There are people out there who want what you do, and there are people who want you and your energy and your message and your personality to support them in whatever they're doing. And just do it. Just do it and give it a go, and don't think too much about it. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Great advice. So, and how can people find you?
Yes, so I am annahastie.com is my website. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook as @AnnaFHastie, and that's the same for my YouTube channel as well. And I also have a podcast, as you said earlier, called Alchemy Mindset with Anna Hastie. So you'll find me on all the platforms. I know Olivia makes sure I'm posted and plastered everywhere, but Spotify and iTunes or Apple Podcasts essentially, as well as all the other favorite ones. And I also have a couple of freebies on my resources page within my website. And one of them is a 50 affirmations. And one of them is 50 affirmations for business success. So this is a subliminal audio that you can listen to at any time, apart from driving or operating heavy machinery. And while you're listening to it, you are hearing via your subconscious mind 50 affirmations that support your business. So whether it's about goals, making money, doing the tasks, feeling great about yourself, all the things that I feel that are a backbone essential to help you become the most amazing businesswoman. And they're spoken very quietly under a piece of very calming and soothing music. So your conscious mind doesn't get in the way, only your subconscious, which is what we're rewiring and programming. And within that, you also get the PDF of all the affirmations just for complete transparency. So you know that I'm not brainwashing you with something completely horrendous, but it's all very supportive. And I know that a lot of my clients listen to them a lot. So, and I do as well. So you can find that under resources on my website.
Highly recommend. I do listen to that myself, and it was for your subconscious mind, but I'm like, I really can't hear any words. But it is. So otherwise you can sabotage yourself by going, oh, that's I am abundant. Oh crap, no, I'm not. I am confident. No, I'm not really. So that's why it's designed that way, isn't it? So that we can just cut through the monkey mind and
exactly
just feel great.
So it may feel like you're just listening to some calming, peaceful music, but there are words spoken under there, which I have found if I listen to them through a set of headphones and have the volume up high, you can hear like a little as if there was something, but it's not like you're hearing someone go like that, so it's distracting. It's not quite. What is that, ASMR? The on YouTube you can tune into people who do things like crackling bits of bubble wrap and feathers and tapping their nails on the microphone, and there's somewhere they'll do that, but they'll be speaking very quietly, and it's almost, but they're not talking like any affirmations or anything. They're actually like, I bought a pair of scissors today, but I can't do this because I'm not that kind of person. But it's like, I bought a pair of scissors today and their color is purple and you can buy them from this shop, and here's the link below to buy them from that shop. And in the same time, there's like music and there's like, look it up. I think it's called ASMR, but it's all about people who love this. It's a sensory meditation, I think is what it's called. But yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, they're all different forms. Anyway, side note.
Off on a tangent. Love it. Okay. Oh, well, anyway, thanks again for joining me.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Miss me, I'll stand on every stage. I'm available for my destiny to reach my people. Gonna be a star, so if you pass on me.
Hello, it's Livy here. Have you ever wondered about what the key elements are that make a podcast truly stand out? Or maybe you're thinking about starting your own special podcast and feel a bit overwhelmed and don't know where to start. Well, I have something for you. Introducing the ultimate podcast checklist. Da, 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 da. It's a step-by-step guide that covers everything from the initial brainstorming to advanced growth strategies. It's the perfect companion for both new and seasoned podcasters. And the best part, it's absolutely free. Da, 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 da. To grab your copy, simply head to the show notes of this episode and you will find a direct link there, and then away you go. Remember, every podcast started with that initial spark and the right resource, so let the ultimate podcasting checklist be yours.